Hello and welcome to beautiful Yarborough Stadium here at Solano Community College. I'm Ryan Irwin. I will be your play-by-play announcer for today's game, and the Solano Mudcats will be taking on the Stockton Pearls. Mudcats yesterday had a huge day, a bounce-back win and a blowout win. They scored 22 runs to beat the Bay Area Marauders after a very disappointing opening day, but they did exactly what they wanted to do yesterday. They got a huge win. So the count is 0-2. Cameron Castor is your starting pitcher today for the Solano Mudcats. So here's the pitch, and looked like an off-speed pitch off the corner. Here's the 1-2. This one is lined into center field, and that's how this game gets started, a leadoff base hit.
Next, number 8, right fielder, Wyatt Reisenbeck.
So Castor is into the stretch early to begin today. Here's the first pitch. This one is fouled away. Here's the 1-1. And this one is chopped down the third base line and foul. Oh, and 2. And a curveball is popped up and out of play. Is the 0-2. This one is hit into center field. Coming in as the center fielder, and he'll make the catch, 1 out. Wyatt Davis on the play.
Next up, number 35, the left fielder, Devin Robinson.
Here's the pitch, and a curveball in there for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and a curveball, swing and a miss, strike 2. Here's the 0-2. Runner's going. Here's the throw down to second, and it goes into shallow right field, so the runner's in there safely with the stolen base. So that puts a runner into scoring position for the Pearls. Here's the 1-2. And that's in the dirt. Here's the 2-2. Curveball is popped up. Giving it a look is Goldenberg, and he's over towards the wall, and he reaches up and makes the catch. So a nice play from Goldenberg, who's getting the start at first base today. There are 2 outs.
Now batting designated hitter number 31, Robert Spar.
Here's the pitch. And a curveball breaks in there, strike 1. There's the 0-1 pitch, and that one's in the dirt. Nicely blocked by the catcher Gilbert Roth, who's getting the start at catcher today. Here's the 1-1, and he went around, strike 2. Nice curveball from Cameron Castor. Here's the 1-2. And that's in there, strike 3. So a nice start to the game for Cameron Castor. The Pearls leave a runner stranded at second. We're heading to the bottom of the first with the Mudcats coming up. And welcome back to the broadcast. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Ben Kennedy will lead things off for the Mudcats. He takes a first pitch fastball in there for strike 1. Kennedy, along with a lot of the Mudcats hitters yesterday, had a really good day at the plate as he swings and misses here, strike 2. Mudcats lineup will go like this, starting Ben Kennedy leading off. He's at second, followed by Tyler Crudo. He's at short today, batting second. Wyatt Davis is in the third hole in center field. Zach Goldenberg is at first base, batting fourth. Gilbert Roth is the starting catcher, batting fifth. Max Garcia is at third, batting sixth. Raphael Hall, he's in right field, batting seventh, followed by Kelly Wexler, and then the pitcher Cameron Castor is on the mound as Kennedy loops one down the right field line. Giving it a chase is the first baseman, but that'll be out of reach. Here's the 0-2. And that one's ripped foul down the right field line. Here's the 0-2. And he chases, so he's down on strikes to begin this game. So here's Tyler Crudo as he looks at a first pitch curveball just off the inside. Here's the 1-0. And he swings and pops this one up. Going over is the right fielder, and that'll fall into the Pearls bullpen down the right field line. Here's the 1-1. And he chops this one foul down the third base line. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And he looks at a high fastball. Great take from Crudo. The count will be 2-2. 2-2 pitch, and this one is looped into right field, and that's going to fall into the gap for a base hit. Crudo takes a turn at first, and he'll stop there as the throw comes back into the shortstop. Tyler Crudo has himself another opposite field base hit. So that'll bring up the left-handed hitter Wyatt Davis. Tyler Crudo doing what he does best, that opposite field approach, and gets himself another base hit as Davis swings and misses at the first pitch fastball. I'd like to let everybody know that it is Little League Day here at Yarborough Stadium. All the Little Leaguers are out here today with their jerseys on. Here's the 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. Here's the 0-2. And Crudo bluffed the steal and goes back to first. As that missed low, the count will be 1-2 to Wyatt Davis. And now a quick pickoff attempt. Crudo's back in there safely. Here's the 1-2. He takes that one high and outside. 2-2. Crudo. Pretty normal size lead at first, and now he's back standing. Pearl's keeping a close eye on Tyler Crudo, who has a lot of speed. 2-2 to Wyatt Davis, and he takes this one outside. Count will run full. Three and 2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. Davis is down on strikes, and there are 2 outs. Got a 3-2 challenge fastball right down the middle, and he swung right through. That'll bring up the 4-hole hitter, Zach Goldenberg, who he had himself a really big day yesterday. Went 2 for 3 and drove in 5 RBIs. And he won the Jersey Mike's Player of the Game yesterday for the Solano Mudcats. And he's had a good start to the season for them. So here's the 1-0, and he swings over the top of a curveball. Count will be 1-1. Here's the 1-1. And a quick throw down to first from the catcher. Crudo's back in there safely. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's a 2-1. And a swing and a miss. Same pitch, same spot. 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Crudo's going. This pitch is in the dirt. Throw down to second, and Crudo's in there safely with a stolen base. So Tyler Crudo picks up a stolen base with 2 outs. Count is run full now, 3-2. So the Mudcats have a runner in scoring position. Three and 2 pitch to Goldenberg. And he chops this one down the third base line. Coming in is the third baseman. He'll fire over the first, and they got him. What a play. So the Pearls make a good defensive play there, and the Mudcats will strand a runner at second base. We head to the top of the second. It's 0-0. Welcome back to the broadcast. We're in the top of the second inning. It's 0-0 the score. The Pearls made a really good defensive play that last inning to get Zach Goldenberg. Chopped it down the third base line, and the third baseman had to come in and made a cross acrobatic throw across his body. And those are not easy plays to make, but he made it perfectly. Here's the pitch from Castor, and that's in there for a strike. Here's the 1-1, and that bounces in the dirt. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and this one is fouled right off the catcher's face mask. May have gotten him in the hand a little bit too. Count will be 2-2. Two and two. Curveball misses low. Count will run full. Here's the 3-2. And this one's lined right back up the middle. Cameron Castor nearly caught it. But that's going to be a leadoff base hit. And that's just going to allow the runner to move up to second. The throw came over the pitcher, and no one was there to get the ball. So all of a sudden, that puts that runner at second base.
Batting number 4, second baseman Gavin Stevenson.
Here's the first pitch. And a fastball in there for strike one. Here's the 0-1. That comes inside. That will be 1-1. One pitch, and a curveball just misses high. Two and one pitch. And this one is fouled out of play. Actually hit the pole right behind home plate. Two and two. This one is hit into right to the second baseman, Kennedy, who makes the play. So there is one out now.
Catcher, number 7, Miles Rivera.
Pitch, fastball on the outside corner, strike one. Here's the 0-1. This one is fouled. Right back to the screen. Here's the 0-2. This is a curveball hit into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And they're going to hold the runner as third as the throw comes back into the catcher. A throw from Paul in right field to keep the runner at third. And that puts runners at the corners with one out. Here's the pitch. And misses high. And this is outside, 2-0. 2-0 pitch. And this is low. Count will be 3-0. Here's the 3-0. And that's in their first strike. Three and one pitch. This one is popped up in the infield. Looks like the shortstop's going into shallow right field, and he makes the catch. Ball had some wind action to it as it went over into right center field, and shallow right center field, but they were able to make the play, so there's 2 outs. That's in there, strike 1. Here's the 0-1. It's in there, strike 2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. This one is ripped into right field, going over his Hall, and he'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. So Castro works himself out of a jam. The Pearls leave runners stranded at first and third. We'll head to the bottom of the second. The Mudcats coming up. Welcome back to the broadcast. We're in the bottom of this top of the third inning, and the score is 0-0. As here's the second pitch, and this one's ripped into left center field, and that's going to fall in there for extra bases. Roth is now rounding second, and he'll put on the brakes there with the leadoff double. correction to make. It is the bottom of the second. Gilbert Roth with a leadoff double to begin this inning, as now stepping in is Max Garcia. Here's the 1-0. That misses in the dirt. So the count will be 2-0. Here's the 2-0. That misses high, 3-0. And there's a curveball in there for strike one. Here's the 3-1. That's another curveball in there for strike two. Three and two pitch. This one is popped up into center field. Coming in is the center fielder, and he'll make the catch. Roth will stay put at second. There's one out. So Raphael Hall will now be in the box. Left-handed hitter, as he swings and misses with the first pitch fastball. Here's the 0-1, and he chases that one in the dirt, 0-2. Here's the 0-2, and he fouls this one away, so the count will remain 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss, strike three. So Hall's down on strikes, and there are two outs. So Mason Kelly will step into the box now for the Mudcats, as he chops one on the ground to third. Over to get is the third baseman. He'll fire to first. That'll end the inning. So the Mudcats strand one will head to the top of the third. It's 0-0. Welcome back to the broadcast. We're in the top of the third inning. It's 0-0. Nicholas White is your new pitcher on the mound for the Mudcats. So Cameron Castor's day is done. And he had a solid performance. He pitched 2 shutout innings. Left some runners stranded on base. He pitched around a few jams, and his stuff overall looks really, really good. So here's the 1-0. This one is chopped foul. Here's the 1-1. And a swing and a miss. 1-2. One and 2 pitch. This one is hit foul. Oh, what a catch! Zach Goldenberg. A leaping catch from Goldenberg over at first base to take extra bases away.
Right fielder, number 8, Wyatt Rosenbeck.
That was a hot shot right down the first base line, and Zach Goldenberg, what a play. So there is 1 out. That's in there, strike 1. Oh, and 1 pitch, and that is just a little bit low. One and 1 pitch, and this is outside. Two and 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Two and 2. This one is chopped foul right behind the home plate. Two and 2. And that is on the outside corner, strike 3.
Next up, left fielder, number 35,
So White picks up his first strikeout of the day. And there are 2 outs. Here's the 1-0. That comes up and in, 2-0. Two 2-0 pitch. This one's hit sharply on the ground. Nice backhand from Crudo, throwing over to first, and he got him. Crudo with a great play at shortstop. We'll head to the bottom of the third. It's 0-0. Welcome back to the broadcast. We're in the bottom of the third inning as Cruz Wexler will lead things off for the Mudcats. Some great defense from the Mudcats last inning. Zach Goldenberg left his feet to make a great catch over at first base. And then Tyler Crudo with an excellent play over at shortstop. One and one, and that misses low and in. Two and one pitch. Off the plate, 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And that breaks in there for strike two. Three and two pitch. And that misses low, ball four. So Cruz Wexler draws the leadoff walk to begin the inning for the Mudcats. So Ben Kennedy will step in now with Wexler leading off at first. And here's the first pitch, and he takes a fastball in there for strike one. Oh, and one pitch, and that's in there for strike two. Oh, and two, and he chases the slider in the dirt, strike three. So Kennedy's down on strikes, and up comes Tyler Crudo. First pitch to Crudo is a curveball in there for strike one. Here's the 0-1. That comes way in tight. That will be 1-1. One and 1 pitch, and he chases a good curveball and breaks towards the outside. Count will be 1-2. One and 2 pitch, and he hits one down the right field line, and it's a fair ball. Crudo will round first, and he'll go to second. And Wexler moves to from first, and he goes to third. And that's a one-out double for Tyler Crudo. That puts 2 runners into scoring position. So here is Wyatt Davis with runners at second and third as he takes the first pitch in the dirt. Count will be 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that's in there, strike one. One and one. Two and one. Here's the pitch. That misses high, 3-1. Three and one pitch, and that is in there, strike two. Now the pitcher will step off here. 3-2 the count, one out. Runners at second and third for the Mudcats. So great opportunity to get on the board here. So here's the pitch. And that is in there on the outside corner, strike three. So Wyatt Davis is down on strikes looking. And there are two outs. So we are going to get a pitching change here for the Stockton Pearls. Here is Zach Goldenberg with runners at second and third and 2 outs. A chance to drive in the Mudcats' first run of the day as he takes the first pitch fastball in there for strike 1. Jeremy Krause is the new pitcher on the mound today for the Stockton Pearls. A left-handed thrower. So here's the 0-1 and a swing and a miss, strike 2. Zach Goldenberg yesterday, I mentioned earlier, he went 2 for 3 with 5 RBIs. And he had bases loaded in the first inning, and he cleared them, and he almost hit a grand slam out towards the 370 marker in left center field. As here's the 0-2, and that is just off the outside corner. Krause was walking off the mound thinking that was strike 3. See if Goldenberg can come through again for the Mudcats. So here's the 1-2. And he hits one sharply on the ground coming over as a shortstop. He'll fire over to first, and it's offline, so Goldenberg is safe. And that means a run will come in to score, and it's 1-0 Mudcats. So steps in Gilbert Roth with now runners at the corners with 2 outs. Zach Goldenberg put the ball in play, and the throw was a little bit offline, and it pulled the first baseman off the bag, so Goldenberg was able to beat it out and allow the Mudcats' first run to come across and score. And the Mudcats are in business now with a chance to drive in another as Roth takes strike 2. Oh, and 2 pitch. And he chases the high fastball, strike 3. So they do get out of the jam, but they do surrender 1 run. The Mudcats score 1. We'll head to the top of the 4th. It's 1-0. Welcome back to the broadcast. We're in the top of the fourth. The Mudcats scored 1, and they lead 1-0.
The 31 designated hitter, Rowdy Squad.
Here's the first pitch. And fastball off the plate, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. This one is chopped on the ground. Garcia's going to let it roll, and that was probably a smart thing to do because I don't think he was going to be able to get him. So Garcia lets it roll foul. Count will be 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1, and that misses off the plate. Two and 1 pitch, that misses high. 3-1. Here's a 3-1 pitch, and that's right in there, strike 2. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and that is just off the plate, so that's ball 4.
Next up, third baseman, number 16, Dylan Platten.
That misses low. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And this one's hit sharply up the middle, and that's into center field for a base hit.